karma is prana. And you say, and now what I got to do with my prana, because I have been doing everything wrong with my prana, for all these years, how I go to fix that. So we have to be a little more detailed how this whole thing works for us. So we have different principles of life. And that's, for me, it's the part that is more fascinating, is to understand who you are. First we have a soul, right? We have a soul. What means we have a soul? What is a soul in our understanding of this study? It's our divine sparkle. So the soul doesn't need to evolve. The soul is not in a process of evolution. The soul is this perfection. The soul is the universe, is the creation. The soul is our reason why we are here, that we can be assimilated by the soul, that we can have our own presence as a soul. So that's what we are trying to achieve in this life. So the soul by itself doesn't need anything. Absolutely not. The soul doesn't care about prana. The soul doesn't have karma. The soul doesn't have problems. So the soul is the perfection. And every individual has a soul, because this is your divine sparkling inside of you. Everyone, doesn't matter who is the person or how the person is behaving in this life. Because we see, doesn't have a judgment from the universe. The soul is standing there until you can recognize and go towards the soul. Sometimes take lives and lives. So the spirit, in the other part, is the one that needs evolution. The spirit is the one that needs all the experience in life. The spirit is the one that is here to pursue something, to achieve something, to achieve this soul connection. The spirit is the one that has to pass through the provations. The spirit is the one that has to stand there and suffer. That's the spirit. The spirit many times go to suffer, but suffer in a good way. In a good way, not suffer as a punishment or something. Suffer to get out of your ignorance. And sometimes we have to suffer to get out of our ignorance. And that's one of the things that we achieve very, very fast. The other thing we have the mind. Okay, for me this is probably one of the most important, because if we don't recognize the function of the mind, of course the mind has the nervous system, that has the brain function, but the mind by itself can be guided by the spirit or can be assimilated by the cosmic intelligence that is attribute of God. So when we put this together, this mind that we want to create is a perfect mind. We want a mind that has a cosmic intelligence. We want a mind that has an ego that is qualified to make decisions in life based in spirituality. We want a mind that is intuitive. We want a mind that can create things. So we want a mind that you'll be a cosmic intelligence, and you'll be able to achieve this because it's a mind that's looking for perfection. So if your mind is looking for perfection, your mind is being guided by the power of the soul over your spirit. Right? So we need this connection, we need this link. We cannot survive based just, I'm this person, I reject everything, and that's going to be. We cannot survive. We cannot survive doing our 10% of effort. Do we need to understand this and know that? No. Wouldn't be fair. If we bring someone here and say, the only way that you go really to be a perfect person is if you understand this concept. This is a treat for us. This is like a tool for us. And there is many people that reach this concept without even open a book. You know, it's because it's the time for them, it's the consciousness. When you reach some point that things that flow. But if we understand and we don't have these doubts, where this come from? Where does my intuition come from? Is this my intelligence? Is this my ego? Who is dictating me? Who is planning my life? Who is planning our lives? Who is giving us this power? Who is planning our life is our destiny. That for long ago we set this way. So who is planning our life is prana. Because prana is there as a rescue, to rescue when you want to use the prana to create a different body. So a different body, a different mind, a different spirit, you know, all this, a different thought forms from Pattaya and the things that you go to create through your virtues, go to accelerate this perfection, because the perfection of the mind, the perfection of the spirit, the perfection of the cells of your body that prana go to provide you. So this is something that is interest for us to know. So among all the principles of life, we have a soul prana that we said, so that is one of the essentials, is the prana. You know, no one live without prana, right? No one can live without prana. Our physical body, of course, we cannot be here assimilating all this and planning our lives and having all this experience that we have here if we didn't have a physical body. So the physical body is one of the essences, the principles of life for us to be present here and evolve. And the other one I put there is personalities. So personalities are stated that we create, we add, we change, we add more, we forgive our personalities, we create another one, we say we don't want this personality and tomorrow you are another personality. It's a variety of behavior based most in our emotions, desires, and 5 senses. So our 5 senses are the commanders of our personality. How this can be? The 5 senses that we don't give too much thought about are the little commanders of our personality. The 5 senses create our behavior. Is the one that go to demand things in our life by what we see, what we want, what we wish. All the 5 senses that are related with our physical experience is what go to determine who you are through the 5 senses, you know. So many things that come to us through the 5 senses, you know, affect our prana because unbalance us. Isn't that right? If you eat too much, you like the taste. If you eat too much, if you eat things that you don't like, go to affect your digestion, go to affect the way prana, you know. So unbalance yourself. If you see things, vision, and you have desires for things that you cannot have, this create a conflict with your harmony, the things that, so your thought forms, everything is related with the five senses. It stimulates you to stay in a stage that is more a physical stage, that is the personality stage. The good news about the personalities that they can change, and one spirit don't need to be related just with one personality, and that is the good thing. Like you can really change your personality in any time you want, and create a different personality. Or you can come here with 5 personalities, and you go to use these 5 personalities just brilliant. You can be a brilliant person and use 5 different personalities, and this is not a disease. Those are 5 personalities that you have and can be used if they are balanced, because you have knowledge from different personalities that you can approach that was accumulated there. So the body that we are talking here, that looks very, very simple, is a body that has a mind, has a spirit, and has prana. So prana is the essential of healing, to heal cancer, to heal any disease that we have, because prana is the follower. Prana is the one that really go to enhance your life, or go to block your life, in the sense to be a healthy person. So that's the main thing that we needed to understand. This cosmic intelligence. So when we talk about the cosmic intelligence, how we approach this energy in a way that we can verify that this is not exactly my own state of mind. How we can approach this cosmic intelligence in a way that go to give us more quality of thoughts. How we approach that. How we approach everything is there. How we approach this cosmic intelligence. In our lives. How we do this.
Through meditation.
Meditation. One more simple. Let's go to say meditation is the answer for many things we are talking here. That's why meditation is so important, But for me, in my view, this cosmic intelligence that is a tribute of God, it is very simple. It's cosmic intelligence is a tribute of God. So we don't want to declare that we have this cosmic intelligence. It's as a tribute of God, and we don't go to confront this. We don't go to come so close to try to figure out, but what means that, But we know that this cosmic intelligence is planned to be part of who we are, right? Because we came from this source. So we know that this cosmic intelligence is related with the soul. And you know that our path here in the earth is to follow our soul and be assimilated by the soul. So when we talk about the cosmic intelligence, for me, is the acknowledgement. We have to acknowledge those things that universe has prepared for us, that universe has available for us, and use, not because now we go to start being tremendous ritualists and change our life completely and do all the mudras, all the chantings. No, it's something that is inside our heart, and we know that exists. And if we acknowledge this and have 3 minutes a day of acknowledge that I know exists a cosmic intelligence, wherever you want to call a cosmic intelligence. I know there is a soul. I know there is virtues in life. And you go to ask yourself, what I'm using from that? So if we do this, you know, we are in the right path. If we don't do this, no one cares. In the sense, doesn't have judgment, doesn't have a karma, in the sense that we create our prana that is related to the karma, but it's not something that go to be around and telling you that you cannot modify yourself, when we know that the personality is not unique. Personality is a presence of you interact with life here, tomorrow, and after tomorrow. So personality is something that you accumulate in your knowledge, you accumulate, you bring back, and you decide if you go to use your personality with a mind that has a cosmic intelligence, or you go to use your mind to have a lower ego, or you go to use your mind that, if we go back here, that is related with the other side of the Kundalini energy. So how these three, prana, forward, and Kundalini, link universe to our body. But how we go to use the prana, forward, and Kundalini. So we are talking about the prana because it's the essence of life, but prana doesn't come by itself. Krama is three energies from the sun that come with the forehead and Kundalini. And the main reason that we are here today as beings, because the Kundalini energy is the energy